Movie Hutt, and this is a weekly hut where we talk about all the latest buzz in the world of movies. To my left are the co-creators of the show, Antonio Ferme.
Hey, this is our first show, and guess what? Deadpool made money!
And Tim Coventry.
Fantastic! This is very exciting.
Yes!
We also have Matt Kearney alonghand, a special guest feature that we'll bring along in this show for many weeks to come.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
I have a joke to start off with, alright?
Alright, we'll let you.
Alright. So, what do Gungans use to hold their weapons?
I have no clue.
Jar Jars.
Oh my God.
Alright, I'm sorry guys. Low blow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Topic number one, we'll jump right into today's movie-gasms. It's Deadpool, and Deadpool was a large success to say the least this weekend. 134 million over the President's Day weekend, and over 260 million worldwide. A great reaction. What was your guys' reaction?
Well, what I have to say about Deadpool is, first of all, it was just absolutely hilarious. I mean, probably like the most R-rated movie. Like, there were like little kids that wouldn't be able to like get into the theaters with,
including your brother. And we got a glimpse of Ryan Reynolds' schlong, so that's a plus.
I missed it, but I don't think it was there. I think people are imagining things. I missed it.
Here's the thing.
I was in the bathroom.
I've seen it twice now, going on my third probably tonight, and the thing is, it was fantastic. It was everything that people led it to be. There are some people that are hating on it because they didn't think it was that funny, but the humor was pure Deadpool, especially the eyes too, the way it was moving.
Oh,
it was
the emotions.
fantastic.
You could tell the emotions. Just like the comics. It was ripped out of the comic book. And the action was also very good.
That's why it was so great.
Yeah,
it was like, Kearney, dude, what do you think?
I mean, I was just glad his suit wasn't green. I mean,
or animated.
Yeah. With the clever quips that he made in the movie.
Yeah, and also
especially the opening credits, though.
Oh,
right when you saw that, you knew it was a Deadpool movie. And it wasn't
great
even
opening
terrible.
credits. I was like confused. I'm like, how can an opening credits actually like, be like entertaining? Like I usually go. That's when I go to the bathroom usually.
Yeah. But we're gonna keep this spoiler free so everyone can see it without any spoilers happening here. Yeah. Anyway, E-Man, you have any talk? Want to talk?
You know, I'm not a big guy for these kind of films. I'm really a talking head on this show. But when you think about it, I came to that movie and I was impressed. I didn't understand what was going on at times, but really the cinematography of that movie was something else. And I really think it was well acted and well directed. And I'm very excited for Deadpool too.
Especially the fight sequence. Tim Miller did a great job directing it. Everything was fantastic.
I hope he signs up for the sequel. Speaking about sequels, this made so much money. Like this made more money than any other Fox Marvel movie. All those X-Men movies, more money than those. This means that we're getting more R-rated superhero films from Fox, DC maybe. I don't think Marvel's gonna touch R. I think their Netflix shows.
Well, here's the thing now. We gotta start thinking of, since Marvel saw this, they're probably getting a little worried, to be honest, like the real Marvel. But they only have PG-13 movies. You don't have something like
But they have Netflix.
Yeah, that is true. So I'm thinking that down the line, Marvel might want to buy Deadpool back somehow or get it back. You know?
I don't think Fox would sell Deadpool.
What do you guys think about the sequel? They promised a sequel though.
The sequel, Cable's gonna be in it. Like, if you guys don't know who Cable is, he's kind of like a time traveler. And like, I wrote an article about it. I think the Deadpool sequel is gonna be setting up an R-rated X-Force movie, and I think the members will be Deadpool, Cable, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Colossus, Copycat, and Wolverine. I'll put the link in the description below. You guys can read that. What I'm thinking is, they are recasting Wolverine, or they're keeping him. They said no more X-Men movies for Wolverine. Who said it can't be in an X-Force movie? What do you think about Wolverine and the X-Force?
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. I feel like people think that Wolverine was brought out to be this like awesome character in the beginning, which is true.
Yeah.
But he's just been dragged out so much that people are sick of him. But I think he will definitely star in the X-Force movies. I think that Fox will not want to lose out on this opportunity.
And it will definitely be rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have X-Men, which is PG-13.
Yeah.
X-Force is rated R, and the Wolverine in the R-rated movie is what everyone has been waiting for.
Can we just talk about Negasonic Teenage Warhead for a minute? Like,
oh my God.
That was surprising.
And not to interrupt, I mean, if you really want my outtake from this movie, it's society in general. This whole theater of people having subtle laughs when someone gets decapitated had me a little concerned. So that's really where we're headed with society.
I almost had as much fun in Deadpool than I did with Star Wars, and that's a lot to say because I'm a die-hard Star Wars fan.
It was
good.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about how they like worked on Colossus and his whole? Like, it was awesome. They took the guy's like head, and then they had like another like bodybuilder who was saying the lines. It was the way they did everything. The CGI. It was all fantastic. It was. out of this
Well,
world.
honestly, I feel like it opened up the new opportunities for R-rated movies as superhero movies, because I mean, we didn't even really see that, and now it like opened it up. I mean, look at this box office; it was insane how much money they made.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
I'm on the other side of the spectrum here. You have Batman versus Superman, which a lot of people are in fact looking forward to. What are your thoughts, Antonio?
All right, let me just say this. It could end up being great, but I am very, very, very nervous for Batman versus Superman. Just like their whole intake of DC just wanting to rush to the Justice League and rush. Like they're doing the solo movies after Justice League, but guess what? Marvel was perfect in that they had Iron Man, they had Captain America, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor, and it all led up to the Avengers movie. It all led up. So, I mean, like, DC's just rushing and they're thinking it's going to work. But guess what? If it fails, they're done. They're done.
Well, here's the thing. With a movie like Batman v Superman, you had Man of Steel. You had people that really liked it, and you had people that really hated it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like Antonio, you said this earlier before.
Yeah.
It may
It's
end
in
up
the
like
middle.
that. It could be in the middle. I don't know how well it's gonna do. They released a lot in the trailer.
The second
You
trailer
don't know.
was
Yeah. It was idiotic in my part. I think that it will do well, but I don't think that the fans will really love the movie.
It's going to be a partial success.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm not even sure if it's going to make $1 billion.
And I really
It probably
hope-
will, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, I think it will. But I just really hope they're not. They're gonna rush the Justice League, and when they rush the Justice League, they might ruin the whole concept. They better not.
But you have to remember the budget. This is the second biggest budget on a movie of all
over
time.
$400 million.
Yeah, but behind the Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
movie. This, look, if they make $1 billion, that's only a partial success.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess
Come
what?
on,
It's gonna make a lot of money, but if it gets like not that good critical success, and plus if people don't like it that much, people are not gonna go and see it 5 times if they saw Star Wars.
100%.
So,
Matt, what about you?
Well, I mean, I feel like that I'm agreeing with Antonio. Like, it could be a success, but I mean, you never really know because I mean, like the trailers. Like, I mean, the last one was only like I feel like they should put that one out first because the beginning had spoiled everything. I feel, and that
it was like first act, second act, third act.
yeah, like they need to mix it up more. And I feel like that if this movie again could go either great or very poorly.
Yeah, and again, like the $410 million invested in this movie just scares me even more because they're putting more money into something that you don't know will be a success. They're gambling. It's happened before. You had X-Men or you had Wolverine Origins with Deadpool that failed, but.
And people are like, oh, we're in a golden age of superhero movies. Like, look at Marvel; they haven't had a real fail to the point where, like, Age of Ultron. Like, I love that.
Well, no,
movie.
they did have the Incredible Hulk. That
was
do
not,
well.
that was a good movie. I think
It just depends.
See, but that
on-
wasn't that bad. That's not a flop.
No,
that's not a flop.
Eman,
To the
did you see the Incredible Hulk?
No.
But
Did you,
it's-
Carden?
I did. I thought it was all right.
But the thing is, like, that's not
It
a
was
flop.
interesting. No.
I have seen a Hulk movie when I was about 7. But
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, I'm not going to say I saw it.
Yeah.
But you might be better off, in some people's opinion. But honestly, there's no flops anymore. Look at Fantastic Four. That was the last superhero. Well, Deadpool. That literally just came out a couple months ago. Like, there can still be movies that fail. Man of Steel wasn't that great of a success. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great of a success.
It's the thing, the whole concept of Hollywood. They're getting lazy. They just keep using old ideas. They don't expand. That's the problem. We need to start creating new things. Like George Lucas thought of Star Wars. We need to start making our own universes again. That
Hollywood
would
is
make it
just lazy.
interesting.
They're just very
Exactly,
lazy.
and that's what's ruining everything.
And like they're making like Superman all dark and stuff like that, and like they're making Batman a killer. Batman does kill people.
I do like the darkness that Warner Bros. And DC that they're heading into.
Their tone, yes.
Yeah, the tone is
But
definitely.
then they're having a
there.
Shazam movie because that makes sense, right?
Yeah. No.
I feel like
But
yeah.
the Marvel, I like Marvel, but they need to start heading in like darker turns, which Civil War, I think they will, and that's what I'm
I
excited.
hope they do because in that Comic-Con trailer, it literally was like Black Widow and Hawkeye like fighting. Oh, are we getting dinner later? Yeah, we'll see about that. Like dinner. No, I want you to start killing each other. That's the whole point of Civil War. You're not asking each other to go to dinner after the fight.
It was very cool in that like 30-second shot.
Oh, favorite one by far. Yeah.
In the Super Bowl where you just saw them together. We stand. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The way
Great
they did it, the watch with Tony Stark. And
Oh yeah, that's
shooting
in
it.
the bleeding edge armor.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys don't know what that is, like when he flexes a certain part of his body, the armor comes out of his body. That's definitely gonna be in the movie.
Moving on, we have our final topic, Zoolander 2. It didn't get the best reception, and the statistics back it up. Only 15.7 million over the weekend. But what was your guys' reception, Antonio or Tim?
All right, so here's the thing. I was looking forward to Zoolander 2. My brother and I, we saw it when we were little. I loved it. My whole family loved it. But I just knew comedy movies, they always have a record when they're making a second one or a sequel.
Yep.
They're not going to be that good.
90% of the time.
90% of the time. Like Anchorman 2, that did not do that well. It wasn't that good. That's the thing. Like, we need, again, with Hollywood, you need to fix. They need to start creating their own ideas.
I just think it was just like a letdown. Like, also, like, their advertising was pretty decent. It only made $15 million. Like, why would they even try and go against Deadpool?
Their advertising was insane. You had
Well,
Ben
compared to
Stiller
Deadpool, it was
character. Well, no, it did have like huge.
I think Deadpool had the best advertising I've seen in a very long time.
Deadpool.
Well, honestly, they had Will Ferrell, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson. They had a ton of like major comedic.
It
actors
does not
there.
mean just because you.
They were,
have good
I think they're
actors.
banking on them to basically pull everybody in.
But they should have not opened it at the same time as Deadpool. It was just a mistake.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Well, they had no idea. They probably thought that Deadpool wasn't going to do as good as it did. Again, like Deadpool made over $200 million, and they probably thought that. Honestly, they probably thought that Zoolander was going to make way more than Deadpool. And Email, what do you think?
What do I think? I just think it was a major flop. That's what happened.
Yeah, major flop.
Did you see the first one?
No, I did not, but I do know that whenever you run a second one like this, you pretty much have to come close to or eclipse what you did before, or else it's going to be a disappointment, and they didn't come close.
I mean, they make these sequels and they almost ruin the first movie. Like,
I'm
Dumb
sorry,
and Dumber
Antonio,
2
but
ruined Dumb and Dumber.
Star Wars was a good example of this, except it did do well because of the fan base and the amount of parallels you had in that. Like Zoolander 2.
You guys talk about Dumb and Dumber 2 in relation to this. Well, Dumb and Dumber 2, I do have a little bit of knowledge on that because I watched the first one about 10 times and went and watched the second one, and the second one, major flop.
Oh, yeah,
I mean the
hated
whole
it.
concept of it coming out with it 20 years later. If you're gonna come out with something 20 years later, it better be good. And
It was
better-
not good.
It was
terrible.
Dumb and Dumber
awful.
2. Oh,
it was awful. So if you're gonna
pretty
relate
bad.
Zoolander 2 to Dumb and Dumber 2,
Just any comedy sequel.
it's,
Like, they're all
really,
bad.
it's
They're all
really
bad.
a bad bet for Zoolander 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only think of a handful off the top of my head that were actually like decent. Like, people didn't like Ted 2. I kind of like Ted 2.
Yeah.
Nowhere close to the first one, though. No.
That's the thing. You don't have like. It's always the originals that are great because they don't expect to make a second one. They just make a good
It's so hard to
one.
recreate those type of movies that are so
But they
special.
try too hard. They steal all the jokes. It's pretty much the same plot. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's the same thing every single time.
See, that's why again, Deadpool. It's worrying me for a sequel. The same writers, they might get like dried up. They might get bored. They don't know. I hope.
Not. I really want a Deadpool sequel.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a different realm where it's like a superhero movie. you know?
Yeah.
The final topic on Slate for today is Transformers. The last few Transformers movies have had awful feedback, just like that noise, but they've made a ton of money. In Hollywood, that means they will make more money. Transformers 5 is confirmed in the US for June 23rd, 2017, and that was just released.
Nice.
Transformers 6 will follow same month a year later, that being June 8th. Following number 6, Transformers 7 will go same month, different year, June 28, 2019. In our final Transformers news, we have a Bumblebee spinoff that was heard to be a part of Transformers cinematic universe. Guys, what do you think?
This
about
is insane. It's like Star Wars. It will never end. Except Star Wars is actually entertaining, and Transformers with Michael Bay is terrible because Michael Bay just includes explosions and thinks that everyone else will like it, but no one likes it.
Like, literally, like, the first one was decent. The second one sucked. Third one was even worse. Fourth one was worse. They're gonna get worse and worse and worse. And Michael Bay is gonna be like, oh, Transformers 5 is my last one. But then they're gonna pay him all this money. Oh, do the same thing. And they're gonna get worse. They're not gonna get better. And they're making a whole cinematic universe out of Transformers. What is that supposed to mean? They're just gonna get worse and worse and worse. And the only way they're gonna stop is if we're not dumb enough to keep going to see them. Like, I'm not going to Transformers 5. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not supporting anything that Michael Bay's putting out.
You know what would be funny? If they were actually good. Could you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like-
Honestly, I'm just surprised that they got the okay to do all these movies, you know?
Because they make
It's
money.
the studio
Hollywood is lazy.
They still
That is
make
true.
money. Again, the whole topic and the whole thing is Hollywood is lazy. It's dying. It's actually not dying. It's doing very well, but
Yeah.
they just copy, and they don't have any original ideas. But I think that the way it's going to work, Transformers 5 is going to be somewhat decent, but then it's just going to go downhill
I
from
don't
there.
think so.
I think
They had like a whole writing room of all these different writers from all these different good movies and stuff like that. And then we're gonna start over fresh. They're gonna do all this, but guess what? They're bringing Michael Bay back and they're doing Transformers 5.
it could be decent. You know, actually, I really don't know. No one will know. Not even the studio will know because they're gonna put it together in the last minute and then they're gonna release it. That's how these movies have worked for the past couple of years.
It's gonna continue until they stop making so much money.
Thanks for the insight today, guys. We couldn't be any less qualified, but I hope you guys personally enjoyed it. For important topics off the books today, be sure to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time on Movie Hutt and the Weekly Hutt, be sure to follow us all on Twitter. I'm Emmanuel Berbari.
I'm Antonio Ferme. You can follow me at moviepilot.com where I write all my articles, probably a couple a week. And you can also follow me at Twitter and Instagram at Antonio_Ferme.
I'm Tim Coventry. You can follow me on Twitter with TJ_Coventry, and then Instagram on TimCov2450.
I'm Matt Kearney, and I have none of those things, so.
And of course, as I said, I'm Emmanuel Berbari. You can follow me on Twitter, but all you're going to see is sports stuff, so I suggest you do not do it. Until next time on the Weekly Hutt, time out.
We'll see you again.